Hello, I am Nolana Lynch, and I am thrilled to be sharing my projects with you today. I am using the Archer and Olive dual-sided notebook to set up a mindful food diary. I desire to gain more clarity on the relationship between my mood and energy levels and the food that I eat during the day. And so this journal is going to help me do that. I will document my meals in the morning, breakfast, and lunch, along with my mood at the beginning of the day. And then on the other side, I will share my food for afternoon snacks and dinner, as well as my mood coming down to the end of the day. I have uploaded a printable on the Archer and Olive blog with a daily wellness journal with checklists that include things like deep breathing, walks, movement, meditation, the whole 9 yards, which can be used to supplement your food diary. So you can cross reference your mood, your food, and some of those other wellness items to see how that helps you with your energy levels, mental health, and well being throughout the day. So I am about to set up this diary here with you. So let's get into the process for today's video. So I'm starting things off by using the beautiful dual-sided notebook. I am unboxing it here and I absolutely adore this print. Now, look at it, the sun and night. And I thought it was perfect for the food diary because I will be documenting the mornings and afternoons and evenings. For me, I feel like a slump in the afternoon and the evening. And so I really appreciate having both sides of the journal. So I pull out these stickers from the Wondrous Skies subscription box. I thought about hand lettering the titles, Food and Mood, but then I felt like these stickers would be perfect for it. Also helps to, you want your journaling process, especially for additional journals that you may be adding to your arsenal. You want them to be simple to set up and to continue with throughout the period that you're using it for. For this particular idea, I want to document this for a minimum of a month to get an idea of what's going on for me with regards to my food, mood, and energy levels. And so I picked out some of these stickers, pulling out the word mood. So just using my tweezers to add those letters in. There are full sheets of the vowels in this set, which I find very handy, as well as popular letters. There are more of those as well. So this is great for all sorts of journaling, and in this situation I particularly enjoy having them in the kit. So now that I've added the letters mood, I'm just going to leave a space. I feel like I need more space for my food than for my mood, and so I just do about I guess 40%, 60% kind of thing happening. And just continuing on to add the letters food in there using these stickers. I like that they have gradations of the skies, day, night, galaxy. Super cool kit. I am a big fan of these wondrous skies and the stars and the moons and majestic skies and all the skies happening. And I also love the washi tape set that came in this kit. The subscription came out last month, I believe. And so it's quite fun to be able to use them and showcase how to use this dual-sided notebook for various projects. So just using some of the calligraphs that came with the set to do some titles. AM, they're perfect because they are the oranges and yellows for AM, the blues and purples for PM, or, so sunrise, sunset kind of vibe. And just adding in the words breakfast and lunch for this side of the journal. I love just kind of choosing some of these purple hues as well to title these in, as well as these cute metallic gold and silver pens that came in it. So perfect, yes, for whites and outlines, but also great for the black paper on the other side of the journal. So all very cute and handy and dandy. So just going to write that in. I'm testing out the silver and the gold, and I'm usually a gold girl, but somehow I really love the silver more. So we're going with the silver for this spread, I guess, because it blends really well with the cooler tones of the, letters, stickers, and the purple that I used. So just kind of titling that of highlighting some of the letters and adding in lunch. And I'll use 2 columns for those in this spread. So keeping it simple, you want projects to be manageable. I think for me, because I dabble in so many different, like I do scrapbooking, I love mixed media, I love journaling, I love it all. So things like this, for me to stay committed to it, I like to keep the format doable and manageable so that when I sit down at my desk at the end of the day or first thing in the morning, I can easily add in the information and continue along with my day. So don't want this to be complex at all because it's not a major project in my group of projects, but it's still a very important project that I really want to learn more about myself with regard to how I eat, why I eat, what I eat when I feel a certain way and that kind of thing. So just trying to remember what I had for breakfast and lunch and filling those in for today. So once I add in my breakfast, lunch, we were traveling today, so we flew from Melbourne to Brisbane. And so usually travel days are a bit choppy for me food wise. I did wake up feeling really well rested. My baby slept really well last night. And so I was like kind of shocked and I kept checking to see, she was fine and she was, but it meant that I think overall I got less broken sleep. And so I woke up feeling quite chipper. And we were also getting, we packed most of our things already, but, on travel days, wake up, breakfast, dress, get out, and then eat lunch at the airport. And so that's basically what was going on for us today. Lunch was at the airport, and so we got in the early afternoon. And now I'm adding in what I had for snacks when we got in. The groceries are coming in the evening. So there were a few hours where we were just I had like chickpeas, tuna, just things that we had in stock that, as that could kind of fill me up protein wise, but still be light. So adding those in on this side. So popping in the titles again, food first, because I want to highlight what I've had for snacks and dinner, and then mood so that I can document how I feel at the end of the day. And so how I felt at the end of the day, I did feel quite energized. I feel as if my mood is also very much related to activity and having like a change of pace and movement during the day. Something to look forward to versus like the days which are quite monotonous. I feel like all those things tie into how I navigate and how my mood changes throughout the day. And so when I sat down to journal and set this journal up, even though it was the end of a day, I still felt quite, upbeat and in high spirits. So really loved at least having that insight so far from just one day of doing this diary. So adding in food and mood and now testing out these acrylographs and calligraphs together to pop those in. So I love having this one for PM. I used this beautiful purple one from the Winterscape collection that recently came out. Let me just double check the name for you here. Yep, it is Winterscapes. Beautiful colors. So just adding those in and then using the silver to write in my snacks and dinner for the day. And so once I've added those in, and then I also reflect a bit on the sizes of what I've had, just to also get an idea about that too. I'm not into calorie counting or weighing food or any of those things. I really just want to focus on being a mindful or intentional eater. And so just because, yeah, I like to do things that way. And so just popping those in and then writing down and reflecting how I felt today at the end of the day. And so I'm quite happy with how this has gone so far, and I want to set up the next few pages, probably a week or two at a time, so that I can easily add in these details in my diary every day of the week. I also decide at this point that I do want to add in just some photographs of the food as well as some of the beautiful washi tape, because why not? They're really nice to work with and I love the colors and the patterns. So let's use some washi tape in this spread to bring it all together. So I'm just gonna cut this down. I have a little adhesive scissors here and I'm just gonna pop in some little strips and then tuck it behind the letters. Just using my tweezers to lift that up gently. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how those look as titles. And then I'm going to use the other dark one since it's the night side of the journal to pop that in. So yeah, this one's a bit thicker, but because it's a dark washi, it looks quite nice on the page as well. And once I have those tucked in, I decide to do the same for the D side of the journal. So slowly tucking that in under there, getting it nice and smooth, lifting up a bit of the letter. Stunning, absolutely stunning. And so once I'm done here, I flip it up. I love how it just flips like that too. So cool. So I'm adding the warmer tones of washi tape to this side, and a similar process, just clipping the end a bit of a diagonal and cutting it off and tucking it underneath the letter D. And yeah, they lift up quite easily, so if you ever need to shift anything around, that'd be quite simple to do. And then doing the same with the other warm toned washi tape. So just tucking that in there. This yellow is really pretty with, some oranges, yellows, blues. It really reminds me of sunrise, and with the gold bits and pieces. This is so pretty. I am just kind of wondering, yeah, that would make such a beautiful color cover. Anyway, so in my photo, I printed out some photos on Canva with representations of my meal. Something to make the diary a bit more interactive would be if I decided to take pictures of my meals every day. That might be a way to kind of make it a bit more personalized. I thought it would be fun to just, since I couldn't do that today, but for the following days, I can take photos and add those in. I thought that was a nice addition to this project. And so I'm just gonna create some borders around this photo, like on the left and right hand corners of the photos, using these beautiful acrylograph pens, and just kind of having fun doing something a bit meditative and doodling. Great for my brain. And so once I've done this, I'm just adding it in two different colors, and then another color, just yeah, using three of the purples to get that done. And so, yeah, I can share with you a bit more of the process, but I'm simply doing this on the lower right hand side of the page and the upper left hand side of the page, just to frame the photos a bit more. And so once that's done, I'm going to use some tacky glue to stick that down in the center. So just to add something, oh, and I also decide as well that I want to add in the name of the meal just for reference. So yeah, just have fun with it. You know, sometimes we do projects that are completely functional, but you know, depending on our personality types, we can also still have fun with it and have a creative element to it. So even though it's something like a mindful food diary, you can still doodle and write and use all the pens and washes and stickers and have a good time with it, you know, because we're all about, yeah, doing things that make us happy with regards to our journaling practice and our various practices. So adding that in with my favorite tacky glue, and just gonna pop that on there. I think that looks great the way it is. But then I decide, yeah, let me doodle some more on this one. So these pens are super lovely. I love working with them. And I popped the names on these. So this particular one is Purple Eclipse. It's a fun one. And just kind of, yeah, scribbling, doodling on there. I need to add in the names of the winterscapes, but this one will be Frosty Lilac. And I also use Raisin. Frosty Lilac and Raisin, and some Glacier Gray. So those are quite fun as well. So just, yeah, have a good time, document your food. I hope that this has been a project that, you know, has been inspiring for you. Because I feel like the food diaries that I've seen in the past have been, you know, a lot. Yes, we log in food and exercise and whatnot, but there are so many other parameters to wellness and diet and exercise that it's important for us to tap into how we feel and how we feel after each meal. Certain foods energize us and certain foods don't, and we're all different. And so I felt like this would be a great project to gain some more insights into that. And so, yeah, adding in my borders on my left side and my night side of the notebook. And once that's done, I can call this entry complete. So I've had the best time adding these in today, and I have had the best time creating this video and sharing my setup with you. This is my very first project as an Archer and Olive ambassador, and I'm very excited for the journey ahead. I look forward to sharing projects with you over the next few months. And please, if you have any questions or comments, you're welcome to ask them below, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. I really love taking a mindful and intentional perspective to my practices. And so I was so excited to come up with this. Please download the printable over on the Arch and Olive blog. You can check it out. It is linked below in the description box for you. And also, you're welcome to check out my social media channels. I would love to connect with you. I am Nolana Lynch on YouTube, and Nalan has a plan on Instagram. That's NEHLAN.has.a.plan. Oh my gosh, that's a mouthful. Anyway, the links are available in the blog post as well. So as I wrap this up and as I doodle to my heart's delight, I do hope that you are inspired to try this mindful food diary. Please let me know down below if you've tried it. Also, let me know if you've jumped on over to the blog and downloaded the printable and how you plan to incorporate that into your journaling and your daily spreads and whatever. And so yes, thank you so much for being here and watching today's video. I really appreciated it and spending this time with you and setting this up here with you today. And I look forward to sharing on the next video. I'll see you next time. Bye.